Today I have my dear friend Amala and her mother. Her favorite dish,
Beetroot lasagna.
This is my dream to get mommies and daughters.
Nag loves to cook. Akhil makes a delicious biryani.
Hi again. Today I have my dear friend Amala and her mother in my kitchen. I'm so excited. Amala.
Meitim Connolly is my mother, and she's Irish, and she's lived in India for the longest time. She was shelter director of Blue Cross of Hyderabad for 12 years and more, and she's retired now, and her favorite dish, Sridevi, is your beetroot lasagna.
I was not going to share that recipe with anyone. I've told everyone I'm not sharing my recipe, but I just could not do that when you like it. So here it is. Today we're going to show everyone how to make this wonderful dish. It's my pleasure. You were saying something about beetroots, and that is such an important point that I would like for people to know.
Yes, I learned from my mother that when you boil a beetroot for any purpose, you must see that the skin is not broken at the root, or that there's no break at the stem, so that none of the juice can escape.
Totally.
That's the secret of boiling.
Absolutely. The nutrition and the flavor will not flow out, and that is the reason why we should be baking now. To roast in the oven, we put beetroots in 200 degrees or even 220 degrees Celsius as a whole like this, and bake it for about an hour almost. It depends on the size of the beetroot. Obviously this will be faster to roast than this one, and if you have bigger ones like this, you know that it will roast much longer. So you want to take out the smaller ones first and let the bigger ones roast further. And how you know that it's roasted through is you prick it with a knife or a fork, and if it goes through easily, you know that it's done, because there's nothing, especially for beetroot lasagna. Now you're imitating slices of beetroot for a pasta, right? For a lasagna pasta. So you want it to be soft, you want it to be nice and juicy. So you want to bake it whole, roast it whole, and then once it's all done, you want to peel like this. You want to peel off with a knife. See?
You want to try one
Like
more?
this. Beetroot is so healthy. It has so many
nutritive value,
nutritive value, so much iron in it. Amala has a story about it.
So I grew up in Kalakshetra, which follows a lot of nature cure. And one of the things, all we girls being dancers, we suffered anemia, you know, and we were told to have beetroot juice, raw beetroot juice. It's not always so easy to digest, but and if you take too much, you can feel bilious. But
Yes.
just a little beetroot juice, fresh beetroot juice, couple of times a week, and your anemia is.
I think so.
It's
I think
settled,
so.
yeah.
And if you find it strong, add some cucumber juice to it, and maybe some other leafy.
And I love this. It reminds
just
me
do
of the
that.
alta of your dance.
Right. There you go. There you go. So, the beetroots are roasted like this and peeled, and then we'll slice them. So now the sauce to go with in between the Alfredo of our kitchen is made with cashews, okay, and little garlic. And we're going to use an ingredient that we don't generally use in our kitchens. It's nutritional yeast.
Okay.
Yeast.
Yes, it's nutritional yeast. It's got a lot of B vitamins. It's actually, it can be taken as a supplement for B vitamins.
So that's the cheesy taste in the sauce.
I gave it away. I gave it away. And apple cider vinegar. You can, and a little bit of lime juice. And I mean, you want something citrusy. I think beetroot goes really well with citrus,
Okay.
even in salads.
Okay.
So let's add a little narinja peel and juice into the sauce.
Okay.
Right.
And then there's no more cooking. Now cooking is all done.
Okay.
Right? And now it's just layering part. So let's use a smaller blender.
Mom,
Okay, about a
Quite
cup.
dip your fingers.
Quite a lot of cashew.
Yeah, but we're going to use it for this, and we can keep it in the fridge or freezer for later, for another one. So for you to approximately, you need for one portion of lasagna, you need about 225 or 250 grams of roasted beets. Okay, for each portion, for a lunch portion, and in that sauce would be about 70 grams, which means your cashews, raw cashews, are only 30 grams. Like only a handful. 30 grams would be like 10. It's not so much. But when you soak it, they get big. And then now you're going to add water, it's going to get even voluminous. And then you spread. It's actually a good diet, low calorie dish, even though you're using cashews. A lot of people, they're worried looking at cashews. Oh, that's going to make me fat. This isn't going to make you fat. This is going to make you feel full and give you the nutrients that you need. What makes you fat is the oils that come out of the seeds and nuts, and you cook and bake and all of them with that. That's going to make you fat. Listen, it takes about half a cup of seeds to make 1 spoon of oil. If you were to use sesame oil, you need to use half a cup of seeds to get 1 spoon of oil. Imagine how many seeds that you can use with the fiber, protein, calcium, and all of that. So don't fear using nuts.
So are you saying eat the nuts instead of the oil?
Yes.
That's even better for you?
Yeah, a lot better, because you're getting
Something
all the
new.
nutrients from
Yeah.
it, right? You're getting the fiber, you're getting calcium, protein, all the minerals, whatever it has. Whereas in the oil, you're only getting the fat out of it.
If you don't like garlic, is there any alternative?
Omit. You don't like garlic? Let's not use.
But Mum,
Then let's not.
you love her beetroot lasagna, don't you?
I
So
do.
it's so
Because we have so little garlic.
little.
Okay, we'll put only 1 clove.
It just cuts the thing. There's a certain flavor that comes with the cashew, which when you put a clove of garlic, it goes a little cheesy, you know?
Fine.
Which
And-
is why
and we
she
don't need
uses
to
it.
also. We don't
No,
need.
it put one-
We
put
put
one
only
close.
one.
It's
I would
good
have
for
put
her.
2.
Yeah.
2 large. I'll put 1 medium.
All right, put 2.
Okay.
Put 2. It
Yeah?
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, there you
It's
go.
good for you, you know, the raw
I know.
garlic. Yeah.
Okay, and then we'll use 1 spoon of our nutritional yeast. And then let's use apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is very, very good for the gut. And here it gives you that cheesy, because we're using only seeds here for our sauce, cheesy sauce. That. And a little bit of
Lemon
black
juice.
pepper. Instead of lemon juice, today I'm thinking we can use the orange, the narinja, one of the citruses. One of our clients, they grow this narinja. It's from my childhood. That aroma. Smell this? It's not like pepper, black pepper.
Right.
It needs a little bit, good amount of black pepper, because we're not going to put any chili here. Yeah. So black pepper. Smell this. It's not quite orange, right? It's one of the citruses. Let's put that instead of lemon.
Lovely.
Enough to help the mixie to grind, but you don't want it to be too thin also, right? Because if it's too thin, it's not going to be like a cream cheese. It's going to be like a dip. You don't want that. So that, and isn't this a nice container, the bamboo container for salt?
Beautiful, yeah.
With salt. This is really important, not to add too much salt. When you add, it's very difficult to tell, right, how much salt. But when you add too much salt, it just takes away the flavor of the vinegar, the orange, the yeast, and everything. Only salt comes first. So let's use less salt first, and we can always add later.
And is that baker's yeast?
Nutritional yeast. It's not baker's yeast. You don't bake with this at all.
Right.
Baker's yeast is dry yeast. They come in granules. This come in powder or flakes.
Right.
It just dehydrates the.
From the way it's running, I can see that it can use some more liquid.
Strong.
Because now it has to cut the sweetness of the beets, right? We'll put a little
That was
bit
the
of,
nutritional yeast.
yeah.
that you had.
Let's put, this is that rind of that citrus. గ్రైండ్ చేసే మేము ఇక్కడ ఇది స్లైస్ చేస్తాం. And we have couple different ways to serve this beetroot lasagna. We could take, depending on our guest list, we can layer it up in a pan like this, in a casserole like this, or directly put it on the plate and put a ring mold or a square mold and layer it up if you're serving for yourself. If you're taking trouble to roast this many beets, I mean at Vibrant Living, because we serve large number of people, we turn on the oven and we put a lot of beets and use it for a lot of people. But for home, I think to keep the oven on for an hour and have 4 or 5 beets roasting is a waste. And we
You
want,
never tried beets in a slow cooker
yes,
overnight?
It is closest to this one, because boiling won't do it.
Yes.
Boiling will not bring out the sweetness of the beets. Steaming also won't do. It needs that heat to roast that the beets become sweet. So slow cooking is also good if it's not a oven. But if you take trouble to roast it in the oven, I suggest that you use this for 2 days. Half of them, like one day you make beetroot lasagna, and the second day maybe beetroot tom yum, right? And beetroot salad, or borscht, Russian borscht, right? Use it like that for a couple of days, and the rest of the beets, leave it in the freezer for another time. And for beetroot lasagna, we want thin slices. I'll just show you a little bit here. Look at this, you can see through.
Wow. Perfect. Yeah.
So,
Perfect.
yeah. So we can do directly, you want to do. So what I would do, go on like this. I'll save some good ones to layer on the top, because we want nice large slices to come on the top. So just layer it up like that. Great. So let's make one more layer like this, and then add one layer of sauce.
Right.
And then 2 more layers of beets, and 1 more layer of sauce, and 2 more layers of beets, and that's done. And just thread it just so. Don't have it come all the way to the end, right?
Right, so you don't go right to the edge.
Yeah, because it's going to leak out when you're cutting, especially, which I made a little mistake here, like that. And another 2 layers of beets. You want to have 2 layers of the sauce, and that should be enough. I mean, nothing wrong in making it even taller and taller, but
Careful with your fingers. It's very sharp.
yeah, it's very sharp. We are making 2 simultaneously. This sauce can be saved in the freezer or in the fridge. In the fridge, it can stay well for like 4 days. You can use it for your dressings. You can even use this sauce for your pasta or for your sandwiches. Do you cook sometimes together at home?
No, we don't.
Yeah,
actually
but now you
don't.
got to. Now you got to
Now
do
we
it
got
together. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is my dream to get mommies and daughters, and I just need to get some boys also into the kitchen.
Girl, too busy.
Oh, this is
But
awesome.
Nag loves to cook.
Nag loves to
That's
cook.
his
That's
stress
true.
buster.
That's
He
true.
really loves to cook. I
That-
know Che loves to cook.
I see.
I know
see.
Samantha's enjoying learning cooking, and she's been cooking with you.
Yeah, she's been a good student,
Yeah,
and she's experimenting at home.
And Akhil makes a delicious biryani. Oh, he has the whole.
He's a real
Yeah,
Hyderabadi.
he does the entire works. He
Oh,
makes
lovely.
a really nice biryani.
Does he let anyone else come in the kitchen while he's doing?
So he has a bunch of sous chefs working for him when he's doing the cooking. Like his dad.
Yeah, right.
I'm the only one who enjoys eating, but
Good for you. You got lucky.
so I always boil the beets before using in the salad. Now I know you can roast them.
When you roast, it's tastier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easier to boil, I think.
And you have a healthy meal.
Health,
End result is
healthy and sumptuous meal.
quadruple
Ready.
the rest.
Super.
Yeah, you can quadruple the recipe and make a big one and just sit and layer and call it meditation.
So we used about 7-8 beets.
8 beets.
8
About
beets.
8 beets. So you're having 2 medium-sized beets per person.
Okay.
That'll be about
Okay.
200 and odd. So when you roast beets, they shrink a little bit. So you lose a little bit of weight there. But it's done. So now we can
lovely.
clear this up, cut this, and show it to them. What a wonderful job we did. Ah,
Lovely.
good, great. We got
Thank
that
you
done.
so much
Now
for
let's.
sharing your recipe.
My pleasure. I'm so happy to have done this with you and with you, Amala. Thank
most
you.
welcome.
And I would garnish it with pink flowers.
Ah, so true. So true. I'll bring one from the garden. Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. I always thought of putting something green on top, but pink is a beautiful idea.
What do they call that? It's a medicinal flower. It's pink. Very common.
Pink medicinal
Lovely.
plant. Aw,
Absolutely.
there you go. You served it. And we can do this as well. And a little garnish of olive oil.